As a young person, much of our lives can be wasted trifling about, spending time reinventing the wheel. While each generation thinks it's treading a new course, never before ventured by their parents, as people we walk a path often taken by those who've walked before us. Much of our time and effort could be saved by seeking out a great teacher, someone to guide and mold young minds. The student-teacher relationship is built on trust, guidance, and the passing on of knowledge. But what happens when this relationship is constructed on rocky ground? What happens when this relationship is based on contemptible means? When the student is taught by a villain? When the student seeks only power?
What do we say here? The way of master! And what is that way? Strike first, strike hard, no mercy, sir! I can't hear you! Strike first, strike hard, no mercy, sir!
Today, we slink and slither into the world of the teacher-villain with our coyly sinister and sinisterly coiled antagonist.
Very soon, Sasuke will seek me out. He'll desire my power.
Our villain begins his tale as a promising young student whose parents died in his youth. The orphan took to training under the village's leader, the third Hokage, to gain power so he might fight the fate of his belated mother and father. Despite his sad origins, mired in loss, Orochimaru was a gifted boy, excelling in classes and even rising through the ranks to become one of the nation's elite warriors. He fought with ruthless and calculating intellect. In his many military exploits, Orochimaru, along with his squad members Jiraiya and Tsunade, became known as the Sannin, or in English, the Three People. These three people were powerful beyond their peers, and it was whispered in the circles of the Leaf Village elite that only a Sannin could kill another Sannin. Orochimaru, now a warrior of legend, assumed that when the third Hokage stepped down, he would take his master's place as leader of the village. However, this did not go as planned. Orochimaru was passed over for the throne. The snake-like Sannin took a long look at his life and realized that though he was talented, there were those that would be greater than him no matter what he did. He became obsessed with power and ultimately obsessed with death. His own mortality was a weakness, and thus Orochimaru traveled down a dark path. When the third Hokage discovered Orochimaru's vile experiments, the Sannin was forced to flee the village and become rogue. Fleeing from lab to lab, the villain lived and thrived only for experimentation. But even a genius such as he could not find the secrets of eternal life on his own. Thus, Orochimaru went to the darkest organization on Earth, the Akatsuki, a group of terrorists, monstrosities, and clan killers, headhunters and devil worshippers, and all manners of creatures that stalk about in the shadows of the villages. Test after test he worked on his body, pulling victim after victim into his lair. Through trial and error, and becoming a personal test subject, the man became a monster and achieved his immortality. He returned a frightening creature of his former self. A shadow of a man, Orochimaru shows mastery over nature and beast. A man who trifles with monsters and demons. Now he returns with a new ability. An ability to steal the bodies of his victims. To steal youth. This is the terrible secret to his immortality. Thus, Orochimaru seeks out students to train and mold, so he can ultimately inhabit their skin. seeking out power, the pupils of Orochimaru crawl out from the gutters of society, from the saddest corners of the forgotten amongst the teeming masses of the ninja world. This gives Orochimaru a truly sinister air shared by few villains. He truly is selfish and disgusting, clinging only to his own wretched life by extinguishing the lives of others, leaving a trail of blood along his slithering tracks. He's blatantly evil from the beginning, which is truly rare in this type of antagonist. Normally, the master tricks their followers or pretends to be good. Orochimaru breaks this mold by being utterly evil from the start. His followers know they're slaves to his power.
The earth, its curse mark. With this, I become a part of you, Lord Orochimaru? Come, see the truth of the world through my eyes, Kishimoto. It all could be ours, yours and mine. Will you come? I will see the truth of this world. Lord Orochimaru will show me!
His followers are branded with the Curse Mark Jutsu. This dark art pierces the flesh of its victims once Orochimaru sinks his teeth into his students. The Curse Mark gives the bearer access to Orochimaru's vast power, but at a terrible price. The mark bonds to the flesh of the user, corroding away at the body and the mind. Cursing the individual often leads to madness and bloodlust, as well as bouts of physical and mental exhaustion. But for many a pupil, the lust after power is worth the risk.
He is dead. Can it be? Kishimoto? No matter. He's of no further use to me.
As a writer, Kishimoto creates a monkey's paw with Orochimaru, giving the students the constant allure of his power, with the constant drawback of becoming skin suits for the monster Sannin. Orochimaru exudes his threatening nature further with the power of the beasts he employs.
Let's begin. I want you to lead Jiraiya to me. The rest are yours to play with as you will.
Vile, slithering creatures drip from every pore of his body. He vomits his creepy crawlies in disturbing volumes, and the Sannin always has a trick up his sleeve. Besides that, underneath his skin suit, what's left of Orochimaru after years of experimentation is an unspeakable horror. Orochimaru represents everything a good teacher villain is, which is embodied in the combination of threat and temptation. He's powerful, dangerous, and keenly aware of his students' strengths and weaknesses, and always maintains a new trick to throw at the protagonist. He doesn't hide behind falsehood, rather he leaves his intentions out for all to see. Orochimaru also retains psychological control over his students, represented by his curse mark jutsu. The teacher villain is a monster of an opponent, and no one is a better monster than the snake of the Hidden Sound Village.
Mercy is for the weak. We do not train to be merciful here. The man face you, he is enemy. Enemy deserve no mercy.